Hey, what's going on today? I'm going to be making a beans and dumpling soup recipe. Very easy, very tasty, nice and cozy now that it's cold outside. High in protein because of the bean factor and also high in fiber because in this recipe I'm going to be using oat flour, so it's very gluten free. So if you like a nutrient dense packed soup, let's cook. So to get started, so here's just like a brief preview of all our ingredients. I'm gonna have everything in the description, so don't worry about the measurements. So here, I have some Romano beans. You can substitute with pinto beans. I find that the taste don't matter, but what I would advise to use actual dry beans because a lot of the flavor is coming from cooking the actual beans itself. Got some carrots, some corn, some red onions, some Japanese sweet potatoes, very tasty. I'll get more in detail with that later in the video. Have some peppers, some fresh thyme, just to provide some freshness to this. Our seasoning, some ginger and garlic. But yeah, let's get to it. So to get started, so I have some olive oil that was heated. You're gonna basically stir fry your meat and seasoning base. So here I have some red onions. Here I'm adding some fresh ginger and garlic. You can use the powder version, but I found like the fresh ginger and fresh garlic is just so good. So here I have red and orange peppers with some fresh thyme. The color don't matter. You can use whatever sweet peppers you have. It's just to add more nutrients, more flavor to this. So here I stir fry this for 3 minutes. So you can do it as you like. Once it get a little translucent, and you can start smelling all the flavor of the ginger. And then we're gonna add our beans. And the beans will soak overnight, so it's gonna cook faster. So here I have our seasoning. So I'm using some Saźon seasoning. I have 1 teaspoon of vegetable bouillon to this. So you're just gonna add it. But again, I'm gonna have everything in the description. Don't worry about the actual measurements. So you just wanna mix your beans here. So here I'm using some vegetable broth. You can use water, unsalted vegetable broth to add more flavor to this. Now that's going to cover it up. I'm going to cook this for 30 minutes, but you still want to check on it. So whilst the beans are cooking, I'm going to go with our sweet potatoes. I love the Japanese purple sweet potatoes because it's so sweet and tasty, and it cooks like your regular potatoes, so it doesn't get soft as mushy like your orange sweet potatoes. But again, it's a good addition to the dish. If you can't find it, just use regular potatoes or sweet potatoes. So here I'm going with our dumpling. So to make this more nutrient dense, I'm using oat flour. I was lazy. You can actually just blend some oats if you have, but I'm just using the actual oat flour. I just found it so delicious, high in protein. And then just to add more protein, I'm using the silk almond milk instead of water. So here just adding a little salt because you don't need much to this. So the salt, I'm adding the milk as I go. I do find like with oat milk, it is a bit sticky. You need a bit more water and a bit more quantity to it. So you have to like slowly build out your dough. And then you can just add as much, like a bit more in your hand just to remove it. So I have this sticking in my hand right now. You can just add more. And then you're just gonna need the dough. Now, what I find like the regular flour, you can make it ahead of time. With the oat flour, it's gonna harden. So you wanna make this while you're waiting on the bean to cook. So you can break it into pieces or you can make it into spinach like this. So you're just gonna make a few, put it aside. So here, the beans are cooked. I'm just adding the coconut milk. This adds some thickness and sweetness to it. I'm gonna add some more broth. Next, you're gonna go in with our sweet potatoes. Our carrots and corn. Normally I use corn on the cob, but I just use some frozen one because I didn't have it. So whichever one you have, you're good with. I'm using some Scotch bonnet just to provide some heat and flavor. That's optional, you can take out. But here, I'm just gonna let this cook on a low medium for 10 minutes. So it's been cooking. So you're just gonna add our dumplings now. You wanna make sure you remove the pepper because if you poke the pepper, it's gonna ruin the dish. It's gonna be too hot to eat. Just gonna add the dumplings in. And be careful when you're mixing. If you're using the oat flour, because it doesn't have the gluten, it will break. It doesn't have like the stretchiness that regular flour have. So you just want to mix it thoroughly, but be mindful if you're using the oat flour. Then we just want to add our pepper. So here, you just want to cover it, let it simmer for 15 minutes on low heat. So like right now, like it's pretty much done. Like I can smell like Smell this dish so good. So you just want to stir it. I mean, you want to put it aside as well. Just let it cool down. And if you like it a bit more thick, you can basically add more veggies to it, or you can add more coconut milk. So here, just gonna stir it, and then we're gonna serve our plate. This recipe is so tasty, so nutrient dense, as you can see by the ingredients. And if there's anything you can't find, just hit me up in the comments. I can provide some alternatives. I do a variety of different soups similar to this, so I can provide some alternatives for you. But listen, this can go well with for supper, lunch, meal prep. It goes well with a variety of different stuff like different type of rice. White rice. One of my favorite ways to eat this is with saffron rice. So I have a saffron rice recipe right here. I'll see you there.